Hello and welcome back to Bespoke JPL. This is a video of a project we've recently done for a Waterfall vanity unit. The customer had bought two vanity units, which are here, and she wanted a top for them with a waterfall edge that matched the shower panels that they'd put up in the shower cubicle area of the bathroom. Initially was thinking of doing a resin piece, but on consultation with the customer she really wanted it to match, so the only way of doing that was really to use the actual panels themselves. And that would also be quite a lot cheaper than trying to create a resin project, full resin project with live edge. So that was the remit. And to start with, my concern was strengthening the shower panel, because it is just made out of MDF and it's 10mm thick. So they were putting some very lovely bespoke sinks on here that weighed quite a little bit. So this is us strengthening the carcasses. I didn't want to run the risk of the bowls being full of water and that warping the shower panels at all. So that was us strengthening the carcass and actually attaching them together, because it is going to be one vanity unit out of the two. So this is us cutting the mitre onto the shower panel using the track saw. My big concern with this project was making sure that we were waterproofing as best that we could possibly do. As I say, MDF is not a material you really want around any sort of moisture. So it was paramount to me that we ensured that we got as much waterproof on here as we could, and we did that by using some waterproofing agents and also using an awful lot of silicone on all the joints, because we do not want the MDF to blow and obviously ruin the whole project. So these mitres they do need to obviously be very, very precise, and they're critical to how the actual project's going to turn out at the end, because the mistake here is it's magnified over the throw of the waterfall. So very important, that element to it. Now also with this project, for continuity of theme throughout the bathroom, the customer wanted us to match the tile trims, which were brushed aluminium, to edge the actual shower panels, which obviously don't have an edge on them at all, so we needed to do something. So that worked out well and matched in well. This was actually very difficult because they are quite flexible and malleable, are the trims. So we wanted to get an awful lot of silicone behind them, as well as the waterproofing agents, to ensure that, as I say, as previously mentioned, that they're as watertight as we can get them. However, in ensuring that we had as much silicone as we could behind them, that did obviously kick out the trim. So we needed to make sure that the profile was perfectly straight, perfectly square, and we used actually the edge of a spirit level to ensure that, and duct tape to hold it down tight whilst the silicone went off. So that was quite time consuming, that was. This is the edging now on the top, so the next part now is effectively obviously getting that clamped down and stuck down. We did that with some fixings and strong adhesives along the extra, well, on the actual edge of the carcasses and on the extra strengthening that we put in the battens that went across the top. So we're making sure that's all hunkered down. Now these black spaces on the waterfall edge was something I'd not actually initially thought about, but in putting the drawer in, the drawer actually came to the outside edge of the end of the cabinet. So if we just put the waterfall edge hard up onto the edge, it would foul the drawer operation. So we needed to space it off. These I think were 2mm, might have been 3, can't quite remember. Millimetre spacers, just to space it off to give the drawer that space to move in and out and obviously be used. We played around with that a little bit just to make sure that the reveal looked aesthetically correct and obviously didn't affect the operation of the drawer. So this is us obviously attaching, well, dry fitting and then attaching the waterfall edge. Now if the cuts are correct, which obviously you want to make sure they are, as I previously said, this should go together quite easily. A lot of strong adhesive on this, and then there were some other attachments that we added to it just to completely bulletproof it and secure it. And then I decided to go with a brown silicone on this just because effectively you were always going to get a slight visible edge on the waterfall, especially when we were having to put some waterproofing agent between the two pieces. So I wanted to match that in. So a clear wouldn't really look great, white obviously wouldn't look great, so the brown I thought was ideal because it best matched the sort of colours in the shower panel, and that gave us the look that we were after. Same principle here, clamping it on, making sure it's all square, making sure it's tight, making sure the reveal down the side of the cabinet is absolutely bang on. That's absolutely paramount here, otherwise it will not look correct. And also making sure again that we have lots of squeeze out here, so we've got plenty of silicone in that joint, and then it's simply a matter of leaving the clamps on and letting it all cure over a 24-hour period. So it's just cleaning up any excess. It's easier to do it now rather than to do it later. And obviously you can see the pattern matching in perfectly from top to bottom. Also consulted with the customer if she wanted an overhang on the top and the waterfall, or whether she just wanted it flush with the edge of the drawers, which she opted for. So obviously all the calculations needed to go in when we were actually cutting the shower panels up to be the exact right size. Just adding a little bit of extra silicone here to make sure we've got that edge perfectly secured. The assembling of these bespoke projects really should be fairly simple. It's the planning that's really paramount in the whole project, and that's actually what takes an awful lot of time. And that's why some of these projects do take longer than maybe some people would think they would, just simply because there's an awful lot of planning that goes into it. It's all clamped down there, as I say, left to cure. We'd had to take the protective film off the panel at this point for obvious reasons. We'd left it on the sides. That's just us checking the reveal top to bottom, ensuring that's absolutely correct. So the drawer will fit just flush right up to the edge of the waterfall there. The strengthening that we'd added to the carcass was definitely ample, maybe a little bit excessive, but I'd rather over-engineer something. And we also just painted it grey. I mean, it's not visible, but it just matches. And also the paint just protects the wood that we'd use, which is just CLS, being again in a moisture environment. So looking good, we're very happy with that. Let it all cure off for a few days, to be honest with you. Check the drawers, check the reveal was all good. Delivered it to the customer, and then the customer had already effectively paid for the vanity unit to be fitted, so there was no point in paying us to do that. So once being delivered, she was very kind enough to send us finished pictures of the project, which looks fantastic. She's very happy with it. Looks great, the continuity of theme through the whole bathroom. So thank you for watching our video of this project. It is very much appreciated. We'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Comments what you thought of the project, or any suggestions, anything like that, or if you've got any questions, I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'd also like to mention the type of work that we do here at Bespoke JPL, and that's joinery, doors, skirting, staircases, things like that. We do kitchens. We do outdoor buildings, so bars, gyms, hot tub rooms, workshops, sheds, anything like that. We do landscaping, that's sleepers, paving. We do lighting, outdoor lighting, artificial grass, fencing, all of that. Any carpentry work, bespoke furniture, we'd certainly be interested in looking at that. And we love our resin projects as well, so that includes obviously cutting boards, charcuterie boards, wall art, tables, desks, bars, vanity units, anything you can think of. We're very interested in chatting to you about that. It's all no obligation. And we do bathrooms as well. And finally, we also have an in-house plasterer, so any plastering requirements, we can help you with that one as well. We are a family-run business, and our reputation is very, very important to us. And because of that, I am very proud, as of the time of making this recording. We enjoy a 10 out of 10 rating on Checkatrade. So if you would like to discuss a project with us, on screen at the moment you'll see our website details and all our contact information is on there. Thanks again for watching. I'm going to get back to it now and crack on.